You guys can start. Aisha's got this. When you and Aisha, I've said everything I need to say about, you know,
So we knew this was going to
Daddy
happen.
Warbucks.
Basically, basically what happened was Elon Musk got clowned about something on Twitter. He got dragged for it. He didn't like how it felt. And so he decides, well, I'll show all those people. I'll buy Twitter, then I can kick them off and never have people talk bad about me again. It's so Trumpian. It's so egotistical.
Richie
It's so
Rich, right?
narcissistic. Right.
Yeah.
That was the only reason that he wanted to do it until he realized he actually entered into a deal that he couldn't get out of financially, and that he'd be locked into it. So now he says he's walking away from it, but make no mistake, he's walking away from a deal that he's going to end up paying a lot of money on
A
in the
little
back,
poorer.
because Jack, obviously they thought he was serious, because Jack went on and decided he was like, I'm retiring, I'm going to just join the board. And because he was getting into that cushy position right there where
Yeah.
he could just reap the benefits. And now Elon's pulling out, and all these guys are expecting their money.
He played himself. He played himself. That's all you got to say. Elon Musk played himself. Finally, this is hilarious to me. I just thought, wow, this is hilarious. He totally played himself like for the jerk that he is, because his ego just got ahead of him. And we see he messed around, couldn't handle it, and went and had a bunch of twins with some other chick. This dude is out here trying to create a seed of something we don't even know. And what a mess. What a disaster, as Donald Trump would say. What a disaster. The guy's a disaster. He's a wreck. His cars, somebody tweeted at him the other day that your cars are cheap inside. I was just like wow, it's not Elon's day.
Yeah, it was such a petty, his whole move was just like him being petty.
He sold wolf tickets. And then he sold some checks he couldn't cash, honey. Remember, he was like talking about, I'm going to have freedom of speech and bloopty bloopty bloop. Really, Elon?
Well, I'm gonna bring,
no, this
look,
is
I'm gonna
another.
bring Donald Trump back.
Elon. Yeah.
Well, he's really backed himself in the corner now, because either he's got to back out and he's going to owe a lot of money to Twitter, or Twitter's going to take him to court to force him to take that deal, or
yes,
or he'll have to he's going to probably have to try to renegotiate a deal at a lower price, because the price he asked or he bid is so overinflated. The sad thing is, and the thing is, even if he becomes head of Twitter, from what I've been reading, Twitter employees cannot stand him. Management cannot stand him. So he's not in a good situation right now, but I have a feeling he'll find a way of wiggling out.
No, I think what he's going to end up doing is quietly taking a loan, reaching a settlement with Twitter to pay them back something, but he's not going to take over the management of it, no.
He came out, and now to distract, because that's what all these people do, he's going to increase healthcare benefits in his company now, since he's had 10 or 12 or 15 kids. These are just the kids that everybody knows of. I mean, this dude is like, he's got one poor child that emancipated themselves from him basically the other day, right? And changed his name. I mean, that's not, and then two new ones. It's, what a devastating, how gross is that? I mean, it's really sad to see that there's a child in pain that he already had, who's living, that, was that hurt, that's what they did. It's awful.
So let's just catch up on some comments here. Laura said, going back to the Brittany Griner story, says, I just rubbed CBD in my knees. Pata is saying, what are the facts? Did she bring a legal substance into a foreign country or not? We don't know.
Of course she didn't. Any idiot would know it's impossible to do, considering when you leave out of LaGuardia, the new terminal. We have dogs that walk around all day. They would have caught it. So Russia's playing games like they always do.
So
Stop
Laura's saying,
taking the bait.
Laura's saying with Japan gun violence is almost non-existent. So this was
Mhm.
alarming. I agree that the other countries are taking awful cues from the US. And then Elon got butt hurt and tried to be the kid who takes the ball home, who doesn't
Go
get his
home.
way. Boo-hoo.
Yeah, that's.
So
I mean,
true.
the other part of it too is that he realized that there were some community standards that he could not change by law if it's a public company, which Twitter is now. There's no way that there's no way he'd be able to run it the way that he opened his mouth and verbal vomited how he would run it.
He's always opening his mouth, and as a Cancerian himself, I'm a Cancerian. I know how that can be. You got to watch it. But he's also a Cancerian man, and they're the absolute worst.
Okay. All right, Jill. Just don't make no blanket statements. All right.
I know some of them are the
Thank
ones from South Africa by the name of Elon Musk.
Oh my goodness.
He's
Well,
pompous and he's arrogant. Let's be honest. This is kind of like it's terrible that we like to see a man get kicked when he's down, but these are the days that we're in. And
He actually deserves it.
and he played a lot of games and created a lot of problems for people yet again. And you know he he likes to play both ends against the middle and straddle the fence. And it didn't work out too well for people during the French Revolution who did that, because we're reaching a time where people want people to be straight, and they're not really going to take it for much longer. I just believe that firmly.